Hello, beautiful humans. I am here with you today to share a little bit more about what stream of consciousness writing is and why I think you should join the Monday Club. So, stream of consciousness writing is sometimes called, I've heard it be called wild writing, I've heard it be called raw page writing, intuitive writing, free writing, flow writing. I was once in a workshop where they called it a soul spill. I've also been heard it called reckless writing. I've heard it be called automatic writing. There is a whole technique called expressive writing or therapeutic journaling. So basically, this comes in many names. I usually just call it free writing because that's what it feels like for me. It gives me a lot of freedom in my writing practice. But basically, the practice is usually relatively the same. All you need is a pen and a piece of paper, or you can type. But if you type, I want you to pretend like your backspace button does not exist. Okay, so basically, with the idea of stream of consciousness writing or free writing, we're going to start the page with a prompt or just an opening. The opening can be as simple as, right now, I feel, or it could be as simple as, it's Monday and, or it could be complex. You could start your page with, if I'm being honest, I'm really pissed off about blank, or this is how I want you to remember me. So there's different ways you can start your page. At the Monday Club, the way that I do it is I actually give you a poem that I'm thinking about. And then from that poem, I pull a couple lines that I love, and those become your prompts. So the prompts can range from things that are really simple to things that are a little bit deeper. But either way, it doesn't really matter how you start your page. The prompt is just there so that you're not just sitting there staring at a blank page. You have a little bit to get you started. So once you have your prompt at the top of the page, you are going to set a timer for, I really like 15 minutes. Okay. There's certain modalities and theories and psychological experiments that recommend 20 minutes. There's others that recommend 5, but I really like 15 minutes. So usually when I give you prompts at the Monday Club, I suggest anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes. Actually, 8 minutes is a really, really sweet spot. But either way, some writing is better than no writing. So if you want to set a timer for 2 minutes, that's quite all right too. But I usually set my timer for 15 minutes. So what I do is I have my prompt at the top of my page. Right now, I'm noticing. And then I start the timer and I write. My only goal for those 15 minutes or 2 minutes is to keep my pen moving. I don't want to take my pen off the page. I don't want to go back and erase a line and decide like, oh, I don't like the wording, or that didn't rhyme, or that's not good, or it doesn't make sense. That's not what I'm trying to do here. All I'm trying to do with this is to get what's kind of swirling around in my brain and trapped in my body down onto the safe place, which is the page. There is some science behind how and why this is so beneficial. So there is a gentleman by the name of James W. Pennebaker, and I don't know much about him as a person, but I know that he invented or founded the term expressive writing. And expressive writing was actually a study where they studied I think it was over 20 different participants, or no, sorry, it was over 50 different participants, and they were put into 2 randomized groups. Both groups were instructed to write about a traumatic experience. The first group was writing about the event as objectively and factually as possible, using neutral words and not revealing any emotions or opinions about it. So, for example, the car crashed into the tree at 5 p.m., da 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 da. The second group was asked to write their innermost, deepest thoughts and fears and feelings surrounding the event. Both groups were asked to come in and write for 20 minutes consecutively for 4 days in a row. And the most striking finding at the end of the study was actually that the second group, the group that wrote about the emotional charge behind the events, experienced significantly fewer visits to their physician in the following months. Not just for mental struggles, though, for all kinds of struggles. Expressive writing is actually believed to boost your immune system because it reduces stress and symptoms of depression. It can reduce blood pressure for the same reason. It can improve memory. So really, this practice has loads and loads of benefits. But the people who's interrupting my video? The people from the second group that wrote about it in the deepest way that they could, they did experience this, as some described it, as upsetting, because you are reliving trauma or difficult things that have happened to you. But 95% of those participants said that it was valuable, meaningful, or profound. Now, that's a bit of a tall order, and I'm not asking any of you to write something that is valuable, meaningful, or profound. In fact, I'm actually just asking you to write badly. I want you to sit and write whatever comes to mind. And if what comes to mind is something silly or banal or boring or stupid, let it be. Let it be on the page. Call it out. So maybe I'm starting my page with, right now I'm noticing my ear is itchy. And how silly is that to write about that? Who cares about my ear? I don't care about my ear. Speaking of ears, you know what I really miss is my dead dog's ear and how it felt rubbed between my thumb and my index finger. So I'm hoping that you can see how this writing practice can actually start where it starts, and then you trust and let it be for 15 minutes and see where you end up. Some days you will get nothing, but if you keep at it, you will get somewhere with your writing practice, and maybe even your mental health as well. So I encourage you all to try this practice out. And if it would serve your writing practice to have a guide through this and support every single week, I have something called the Monday Club that I invite you all to join. The Monday Club is a weekly writing prompt that lands right in your inbox. It costs less than $2 a week. It helps me keep my light on and these doggies fed. And I would just so appreciate you joining and sharing with your friends. Big love.